Hello everybody. Welcome to APSIS webinar about how to drive value from your customer data. And we will go through this topic now for 20-25 minutes. And if you have any questions, there will be a chat open for you to ask questions throughout the time. If you ever think of something really important after the webinar, my email address is there where you can contact me and send the questions. 4 main points. The evolution of data. Talk about that in terms of where you are today in that evolution path. Data marketing challenges, the challenges that you face every day and make having an omnichannel experience very difficult. And also we'll be showing how we develop a single customer view through the APSIS One platform. And finally, how that can be put together to drive success for you. So I'll start with evolution. And of course, all of you work with email, right? So that's the first step on the evolution path, how you get good marketing to your customers through email channel. However, we all know that to get good emails, you need relevance. That relevance comes from CRM. So naturally, the step that a lot of you have taken is moving into getting triggered emails or segmented emails for your customer base who are subscribers into good email marketing. And I have a case that I will talk about a bit later in that. CX, great buzzword, customer experience, it stands for. And that naturally means that you're then working in more than 2 channels, SMS, email, on-site, social. You have the difficulty of knowing how to marry together your communication to be consistent across devices and with the same messaging. And artificial intelligence, of course, how you then have a more programmatic marketing experience of dealing with prediction. So, all of you sitting there, I presume, if you're lifting your hands, you're going to say 100% of you are dealing with email marketing today. Absolutely. But if you could just show some hands, how many are dealing with CX marketing? Yeah, so that's good. That's 25%-ish, and that represents very well those who deal with a more CRM focused approach, connecting data through API or connecting data through an integration. And of course, CX marketing, working in several channels, and we have a lot of you today that I can see and know in the audience there. And AI, I think, obviously that's a couple of clients that we have who are focusing on that. So that's the evolution picture, and you can think yourselves as to where you fit into those groupings. But let's go back a bit to Kemp Hotels. They are a client of APSIS, and they have a very good setup in terms of dealing with a more mature email marketing need, how they can get more relevance out of pre-post bookings and VIP mailings. And you can see in the timeline here that we have, started with APSIS Pro, 2016, learning to do basic emails, moving to events in terms of collecting more data through event channels. And then integrating CRM, in this case Microsoft Dynamics, meant that moving to a more automated approach, triggered approach from getting email interactions. And I'll go through that in the case, talking about triggered emails. So you all have a need to have a more automated approach in marketing, segmenting bookings. And obviously in APSIS Pro, you can create nice templates to produce these nice emails, right? But obviously, getting data out of CRM, you've got your guests, you've got your inactives and VIPs. You want to treat these segments differently, and you want to get these uploaded into the APSIS platform so you can trigger emails 3 days before you stay, for instance, and schedule them for 3 days after stay. If you're lifting that data yourself by Excel and loading up data, it's a lot of work. You need that to work for itself. And you need to put more time into working with your messaging and your template design. So allowing for that shift, we can then see the open rates increase dramatically because you can spend more time getting more relevant information. VIP open rates also increasing by 90%. So this is the gain when you move more maturely into CRM and email marketing. But when I speak to customers like Kemp Hotels and I say, you know, what's the next step for you? And there's one word that comes up. It's customer data platform. They want to capture the audience in more than one channel. And that they can't grow any further. There's the headache of data silos, there's the headache of lifting the data into a system to be more automated and to be more real-time in terms of an omnichannel experience, a CX experience. And that's where APSIS One comes in. So this is a travel vision that I discuss with quite a few clients. Starting with social, I might be chatting on Facebook, seeing an ad for a hotel, or it might be a display ad. In any case, I feel enticed to click through to that page and sign up for email. At that moment in time, then APSIS One can capture that email address and create consent to send out an email offer. That email offer is relevant based on what I have seen from the website. But if I go further in the process on another device, the risk is that you lose that journey. However, with APSIS One, the technology is able to marry that device together into a 360-degree profile so that we can help push conversion through relevance, connect a more personal experience through my pages, and have even more relevant pre-stay and post-stay emails. And this is the, shall we say, the vision that we have for our travel clients, which we can deliver with APSIS One. And naturally, this is not just the travel vertical that we deal with, correct? It's all of you sitting there. So I spoke with some of you before, coffee before this, before we started, and you know, what are the common challenges that you have? And of course, data silos. You've all got data in CRM, you've got data in website, you've got data in social, email, so on and so forth. And I think it's not just where the silos are, it's also the fact that you have a lot of devices as well. We've got 6.3 devices on average. So how do we deal with all that different data that we need to put together? At the same time, how are we going to be compliant? And I think we all remember the scare in May, right? I think we were sitting on the other side, you were all dealing with all the issues. Compliance, and that's something that really is important to us at APSIS. We want to make sure that you don't need to worry about how your data is handled, not even from an email subscriber sending an email, but also in terms of what channel am I allowed to communicate in. We can deal with that for you. And again, why is that important? Several reasons. I think this is a fact that I got from Google. They're good at facts, right? So as well as other things. But 85% of customers start a purchase on one device and finish on another. If you don't know who that person is, or shall we say how the devices are connected together, then that will be very difficult for you to optimize that journey. And lastly, with APSIS One Audience, separating your customers from your prospects means that you can drive not only a good customer experience, but CX also means that you drive a good prospect experience. You have to separate your customers from your prospects and treat them differently. And it costs 5 times as much to attract a new customer. So it's worth keeping the ones that you have. But you need to know who they are. So use APSIS One and get to know your customer. And for us, APSIS One is going back to basics, right? It's going back to knowing who your customer is so you can reach them easily and give them the right messaging at the right time. And of course, that is what we determine as a CX experience in the right channel. So I'll let you gather your breath, and I'm going to take you on a journey. And single customer view is what we talk about internally at APSIS. I took one of my favourite travel companies, Destination Gotland. So I'm going there for the first time this year. So I decided, all right, I've got to go. Been in Sweden for so many years. So it's time to see the, I think the Viking Island, I think you refer to it, or I'm sure people will tell me afterwards what the paradise name for it is. But anyway, so my journey going to Gotland, first I come to the website, and naturally we then have a choice to, shall we track the profile directly, or shall we track it after consent? And that is, you have that decision through APSIS One to decide how those settings are handled. In this state, I go through and start collect data on the website. And at this point, because I'm showing more interest in stay behavior as opposed to ferry behavior, I'm automatically segmented into a trip segment. And naturally, as I go further in this process of looking at destination, then the scoring will automatically maintain the segment that I'm in. And when I complete the booking, my segment will change to you have booked, but you have not paid. So that when I come back to the website, I can be given more optimal messaging, or I can be given very good emails, not only welcoming me to the Destination Gotland family, but also give me more relevant emails for, we know that you have booked a stay, but you haven't booked a ferry. So we're reminding you that you should really do that quite soon. Here's an offer. At this point, this is when the magic happens. So APSIS One is able to link together my profile from online, my email address, and the device, the iPhone, so that then I get connected together into one single profile. That is important because then, when I go to my pages and go and log in, I'm then given the same experience from an omnichannel perspective that I need. So what activities do you want to do? Or this could be obviously being pushed more messaging about ferry bookings. And finally, after I've had my trip, of course I can be marketed to continuously through email. But then from a true CX experience, it's also working with email social reinforcement to get me in the channels where my awareness signals are high on social, but also verifying the messaging through email to get more effect on a return back to Gotland. So, recap on this. We have 360-degree profile, and we want to market in a one-to-one perspective, absolutely. But you as marketeers, you need to also think in terms of segments, right? Because you want to create messaging for many segments. So in this case, we have so many profiles in one, in audience. These are the ones that are looking at booking a stay. But then we can combine different segments together to create more granular segments. So those who have booked a stay and have a certain destination interest, and I'll say that in my Swedish Ljungarn, if that is correct. And those who've not booked a ferry. So that means that instead of you working more traditionally from a CRM perspective of trying to get data queried and out of CRM, you're able to work within one audience to do real-time segment analysis and put that into a automated omnichannel experience. And we do that through combining the different channels together, breaking the data silos. And that allows us to then, as I showed you, combine the different devices into one 360-degree profile. So then we have online and offline data to deliver the true CX experience across the channels that you decide you want to market on. You don't obviously need to choose all of them, but certainly email, on-site, SMS may be the ones that you prefer to begin with, so on and so forth. So why do we need a roadmap? And I think a roadmap is good because there's more channels and more complexity that come in. And there is a need for you to also know where your business gains are, where your quick wins are, right? Different industries, different needs. And we're very good at working with you guys at APSIS. We provide a lot of support to help you with road mapping, the account management team, for instance, or the professional services teams. Where in the case that we showed you with Kemp Hotels, how can we get you to deliver on your email roadmap? There's a lot of gains to be had there of being ready to get data from CRM to be more actionable, to be more automated. And as I discussed, the chasm that then comes into your CX marketing, we want you to start that CX marketing experience with us, with APSIS One. And obviously, with that transition from existing customers, we will then migrate your accounts and build audience segments. For those of you who are new, welcome in, and we start that journey immediately for you. And of course, this leads to many different value areas that we described to you: more relevant mailings, improved on-site personalization, and social campaigns that can really drive your marketing forward. And I'll give you a few examples of that now. So challenge with email and even CRM, you don't have on-site data to make your segments more enriched. So with me, for instance, going to the Destination Gotland website and having on-site behavior to give a clear segment as to what my intent is for travel, this can then be applied to the email marketing to make that even better. So you're really enriching the online and CRM data together to make that better experience. And what we see from stats is that more relevant emails will drive a 5% gain, and that's part of your business case for taking the CX journey. So that is in terms of the business benefit of segmented emails. Now, when we get to more optimal relevance, and I think advertising being very important here, we've showed you before that from Facebook campaigns, for instance, you want to know if I am going to buy a ferry or if I'm going to stay at a destination. What campaign I'm in will have a lot of relevance to which campaign is going to drive best result. Obviously, we can tell which segment should be the one that you go with and which one you should stop. And why is this important? It's important because we spend so much money not just on getting the right relevant ads, but also in terms of just stopping customers. 25% of your ad spend is spent on customer advertising. So that means that people who've seen the ad bought, that we're still showing the advert for. And I'm sure you see this yourselves when you have bought and you're seeing ads in different channels and you're saying, why are they chasing me? So there's a gain not just in the relevance but also in the customer stoppers. And obviously, again, to on-site messaging, we have the ability to have more optimal segments, getting the right information. So again, coming back to a website where you have a generic content, you want to link that to your content management system automatically so that each segment in each different interest group will get the relevant content. And that works in an automated manner where these segments that are created in APSIS One are available to your content management systems. And we see evidence of a 19% uplift in revenue where on-site personalization can really drive your conversion. So what does this mean? This means, as a takeaway, that one bridges the gap between your CRM marketing to your CX marketing. More choice that APSIS One gives you means that we will help you also roadmap that up to get the benefits out of the quick wins and also the long-term gains. And as what we showed you in that example there, start with the quick wins and then expand from there to take your CX journey with APSIS. thank you for listening, and I'll be available over in the kitchen for any questions afterwards. Thank you very much.